So where we wanted to start is one of the new features that Acumatica has brought out. These are called 360-degree dashboards. So these are more interactive and truthfully a really good overview of what a project status is. So there's a mixture here of specific widgets with key metrics that whether you're a PM or an accountant or an executive even that wants to review the status of a project, what its potential is from a revenue side or the cost side, you have lots of that data here at your fingertips. As you can see here, we'll drill into some of these widgets in just a moment. But you also have some charts and other items to look at as far as AR invoices and items like this here on the summary. And then you could also do a deeper dive into the specific financial subcontracts and then project management that you may be looking for as far as this project is concerned.
You know, and one of the things that we always hear and that we know is a focus for our construction customers we work with, it's always margin and it's always cost control. How are we doing? And being able to get this information, anybody that needs to know that in a construction firm that's using Acumatica, it's right here at their fingertips.
Exactly. So as you can see, to your point, you can see that we have a bit of underbilling. So this definitely is a project that we would want to encourage the project manager or whoever would be able to impact the billing to make sure that all of the percentage completes or expenses, depending on if this is a progress bill or a time and materials project, that you're able to get those items correctly entered into the project, accounted for, and then billed out so that that revenue can be realized. And so these views are designed to give you that visibility right away without having to go into different reports or different screens to see the same information.
Yeah, and even that project margin, like the 9.42% on this project. I mean, this is demo data, but let's say this project was really planned to be more in the 15% margin. It would be way off from that. So this project is probably something that would be considered almost completed. But before you ever get to that stage, using this tool from the onset helps shape the outcome of that project and not allow it to end up where the margins have got eroded and now we're looking in the rearview mirror.
So what I find is something that our very focused on is the cost side of these. So what we try and are concentrating on today is looking at some of these widgets as far as some of the backlog to that point, what needs to be brought in and what needs to be built out, where we could contain our costs. There's opportunities to control some of the spend. So looking at the cost projections would be a great way to analyze your budget by task, by cost type to see, is there opportunities here? Obviously materials can be variable, they're fluctuating. Labor, you may have more control over where you're substituting maybe a lower dollar laborers versus your higher dollar and putting them on the project where they're maybe more efficient and can get more response out of the containment.
And one of the values about this particular screen right here and the ability to do this, a lot of people do this in Excel. And yes. So you're transferring information back and forth. It's not real time. Nobody else is going to be able to see it because it's not in the system. And once this is in there, then again, the VP of operations or the CEO or the CFO can pop in and take a look and see how this is doing. And they don't need to ask anybody. I mean, it's right here.
You can look at, exactly, the line items. Exactly.
It gives the project manager all the tools that they need without, going to 10 different places, pulling data out of Procore, pulling data out of, estimating sheets, pulling data out of timesheets or pulling data out of supplier invoices. There's no need to waste all that time, doing all that activity. Yeah, and the status report really is a centerpiece, and I think that's where Acumatica is really trying to drive all of this, is to give that ultimate accountability, financial responsibility, and control to drill all this into. Here's one place you can go to look, and if something looks off, then where do we go from here to go see why that is? Because again, the alternative is you find this out 6 weeks later. Now it's too late. Now there's nothing we can do about it.